クラブの価値をランキングにしてあるんですが、1位がレアル・マドリー、2位がマンチェスター・ユナイテッド、3位がバルセロナ、4位がリバプールなんですけども、このリバプールが近年非常にこのビジネスがうまくいっていて、今回調べていて驚いたのが、リバプールのスポンサーシップっていうのはただお金をもらうだけじゃなくて、何か一緒に仕事、ビジネスを作っていく。
We've got Japan Airlines as our airline partner, official global airline partner, and quite frankly, we wouldn't be here without the support. Yeah, look, that's another good. One of Google's Pixel's objectives when they entered the partnership was to bring fans. Virgil saw someone from the media team that he works in with day in day out. Took the phone, and it was exactly that. It was bringing fans closer to the game. Expedia do a lot with supporting fans with travel. Certainly our women's team, they provide away travel. That's then an amazing relationship which works in tandem is the recipe for a hugely successful partnership.
今回のピボットフットボールは NTT ドコモの協力のもと特別版としてお届けします。今回はリバプールのチーフコマーシャルオフィサー、ベン・ラティさんにインタビューをしていきます。よろしくお願いします。で、まずこのランキングを見てほしいんですけど、これはスポルティコというサイトのランキングなんですけども、クラブのバリュエーション、クラブの価値をランキングにしてあるんですが、1位がレアル・マドリー、2位がマンチェスター・ユナイテッド、3位がバルセロナ、4位がリバプールなんですけども、このリバプールが近年非常にこのビジネスがうまくいっていて、成績も出ていて上に来てるんですけども、ラティさん、このランキングを見てどう思いますか？
Yeah, look, we're very proud at sort of our position in world football. We've always been in sort of unapologetic in the way that we run the football club in a sustainable way. Ultimately, that means that everything we make as a football club, we put back into the football club, whether that's through infrastructure or on-pitch performance. And my job off the pitch is, along with the talented team that is there at Liverpool Football Club, is to drive as much revenue as we possibly can. And in doing so, we can then invest it into other areas of the football club to drive the on-pitch performance, which, sort of concludes with, an amazing sort of trajectory in terms of world football and where we are. So, look, we're in a great position, and long may that continue for us.
で、皆さんはこのリバプールが近年ピッチの中で非常に成績が出てると分かってると思うんですけど、その商業面でも非常に成功してまして、そこも教えてください。
Yeah, look, we are dedicated to growing the sort of what we controllable revenue within the football club. That's revenue that we can ultimately impact. We obviously have our media revenue, which is the Premier League do a brilliant job of brokering the broadcast deals around the world, but ultimately our media revenue is dictated really by the merit where we finish in the league. So what we need to focus on as a commercial team is the controllable revenue, which is ultimately commercial and match day. And look, we've done a really good job of driving that incremental revenue over the last few years. I don't think it's any coincidence that you're seeing sort of the on-pitch success now as a result of hugely successful off-pitch success. Likewise, the on-pitch success drives the commercial business, and we're in this really fortunate position at the moment, and it's not down to luck, it's down to hard work from many people around the club of this virtuous circle that we find ourselves in, where sort of one impacts the other, and everyone understands their role in that cycle, and everyone is certainly dedicated to continuing that trajectory that we're on.
で、この売上が今1000億円ぐらいあるんですけども、そのうちの400億円ぐらいがそのコマーシャル、スポンサー部門なんですけど、そのスポンサー部門のそのちょっとリストを見てみたいんですが、一番大きなスポンサーは、このスタンダードチャータード、主に香港とかで拠点している銀行とかでナイキなんですけど、非常にアメリカの会社も多くてですね、エクスペディアとか、で、ざっとここで見てもらうと、日本のこのスポンサーもあるんですけども、これについてもいろいろ教えてください。
Yeah, look, there's no priority on a market as such in terms of who we partner with. We want to be the most impactful partnership platform in sport and entertainment, not just in football. And that's something that we get up every day thinking about how we're going to continue to improve how we service our partners, how we prove the appeal from us as a football club to partners that maybe not partners of ours quite yet, but are thinking about sort of entering into the sporting world. So for us, we want to partner with the best. We want to partner with premium brands. We feel we've made a real shift change over the last few years in terms of who we partner with. I think what we find is a lot of our partners actually end up, and this is again a sort of conscious decision from us, is to partner with brands that can bring value beyond, obviously, the financial value is important for us in the way that we run the club, but also how can a partner bring additional value to the football club? And that could be via supporting fans. Expedia do a lot with supporting fans with travel. Certainly our women's team, they provide away travel. It could be something like UPS, which we talked about earlier in terms of, with UPS, we've set up a European distribution centre, which will serve our fans outside of the UK in a more reliable service, in a faster service. So, what we look for as well is a partner that can bring additional value to the football club. That, that's then an amazing relationship which works in tandem and is the recipe for a hugely successful partnership. And, we've seen that with a list of our partners at the moment.
まさに UPS の話も聞きたいんですけども、僕が今回調べていて驚いたのが、リバプールのスポンサーシップっていうのはただお金をもらうだけじゃなくて、何か一緒に仕事、ビジネスを作っていくっていうのことをやっていて、その例が UPS なんですけども、その UPS についてより詳しく教えてください。
Yeah, absolutely. Another great example of the fact that we're here, right? We've got Japan Airlines as our airline partner, official global airline partner, and quite frankly, we wouldn't be here without the support of Japan Airlines to help to fly us here. So that's another example of a partner coming on board, obviously for the global reach of the club, but also, when we were looking at our options on where we went for pre-season tour, we spoke to Japan Airlines and they've offered to fly us out here, and it's been incredible. So again, it's just sort of another example. Related to UPS specifically, our retail business, everything we do as a football club is in-house. We don't really outsource much of our business operations. And that has its pros, it has its cons. Obviously, that means it's a costly, and in terms of sort of the headcount that we have as a football club, it's probably on the larger size compared to other football clubs. But what it does it allows us to control we're in control of our own destiny. And our retail team specifically, we run the end-to-end process all the way from product design, product development, the supply chain for that, the marketing of it, the distribution of it, and ultimately the stores as well. Most of the stores that we have, we partner with people, but also, we own a lot of stores ourselves as well. UPS specifically, that was a partnership that came on board. We have our own distribution centre in the UK. Again, not many other football clubs do, but we do. And, what we were finding was it was becoming costly for importing product into the UK to then ship back outside to the market. And we wanted a distribution centre that was outside of the UK and Europe. We approached UPS about that opportunity. They were exactly the right partner we were looking for in terms of their scale, their reach, their professionalism. But also, one of the things that we were really impressed with was their sustainability angle. And sustainability is at the heart of what we do at Liverpool Football Club as well. So, what it's allowed us to do is serve our fans outside of the UK in a more reliable service, a faster service than previously. And, hopefully the idea would be a sort of cheaper service as well. So, it's a great partnership for us. They've been great partners of ours. I'm sure it'll be a long-term relationship, and it's proving hugely successful for us.
で、他のまた有名な例も触れたいんですけども、Google Pixel もスポンサーで、携帯をスタッフがゴール裏で持ってて、ファンダイクがゴールシーンのセレブレーションの後、決めたのは他の選手、ヌネスだったんですけど、セレブレーションでファンダイクがそのスタッフから Google Pixel の携帯を持って、で喜んで、それをリバプールのサイトで SNS で配信してすごい話題になったんですけども、それも協業の一つだと思うんですが、それについて教えてください。
Yeah, look, that's another good. One of Google's Pixel's objectives when they entered the partnership was to bring fans closer to the game, and that was something we've been working on about how we do that precisely. There's the Virgil van Dijk example. There's the most recent Mo Salah example. It's sort of when we won the league. for the 20th time, and he took a selfie. And look, that's not forced. That's not forced upon the players to do that. We could never do that. We would never want to do that. That's the result of our media team. Ultimately, number one, using Google Pixel as the preferred product to capture sort of short form, horizontal, vertical content. Our media team are based at the training ground, so they are regularly with the players day in, day out. They've built up that trust, that relationship with the players over time. The players know exactly where the media team are at the stadium, whether that's home or away games. And I think it was just this sort of, coming together of the phrase sort of "you make your own luck" really came to the surface there, and that we had put in all the hard work. It was a moment of celebration, of course. Virgil saw someone from the media team that he worked in with day in, day out, took the phone, and it was exactly that. It was bringing fans closer to the game, and it was an incredible moment for us as a club, incredible moment for Google Pixel, of course, and the partnership. But hopefully there'll be many more moments like that, and that's down to the professionalism of the staff that we've got, the expertise of the staff we've got, and the relationship that we have across the club. It's one club, and we operate as one team, and that's the business and the football operations as well.
Google Pixel 側の反応はどうでしたか？
Yeah, look, when a moment like that happens, of course our partners are going to want to use it and to talk about it and shout about it as much as they can. Equally, we do. We posted it on our channels, and it's sort of the like I said, the coming together of many hard work, hard evenings, hard days of work, building that trust. And I think when we get a result like that, obviously there's a celebration from our partners because they can sort of use the content and the images, but also for us internally, it's proving that our business model is working, and it's clear that everyone knows exactly what Google are wanting to get out of the partnership. And when a moment like that happens, it's a celebration for everyone, really.
で、もう一つまた例を言いたいんですけれども、僕の好きな例はエクスペディアが女子チームの応援のために、バスを、チームバスというか応援バスを出して、それによって、ファンが女子チームの応援にも行くし、さらに二酸化炭素の排出量を減らすという取り組みがあるんですけど、それについて教えてください。
Yeah, look, one of the key priorities we keep talking about, we're one club and two teams, right? We've got our men's team, we've got our women's team, and the women's game's growing massively. Obviously, last night the Lionesses won, so congratulations to them. And equally, we're committed to grow the women's game as well, as are many of our partners. And one of the areas we felt that we needed to increase was, of course, the home fans and the capacity and the attendances of fans at home matches, but also supporting our women's team on the road was really important as well. And one of the areas, based on the data that we had and the survey we put out, one of the boundaries of that happening was travel, and naturally having Expedia as our travel partner, so we went to them with a proposition which was provide away travel to our fans for the women's team, and they were very interested to support. They're very happy to support, and it's been hugely successful for us. It means that we get more fans now at our away games for women's games. I think the team can really feel that in terms of the support that they get, and we're looking at how we can evolve that, right, and what more we can do with Expedia around supporting fans with their travel options.
で、この、スポンサーからお金をただもらうだけじゃなくて、一緒に何かやるっていうのが非常に面白いなと思うんですけども、これはどっからこういう哲学は来てるんですか？
No, I think it's the collaboration between sort of this example specifically is the collaboration between our partnership team, our activation team, who are every day thinking about what more they can do to drive value for Expedia from the partnership. So coming together, Expedia will have a team working on the Liverpool partnership as well, and it's the coming together of some great minds in that room that came up with that idea, and that there are dedicated teams. One thing that we do, we're incredibly flexible with our partners. Yes, we have a contract, yes, we have an agreement, yes, we've agreed sort of what rights, but to some extent that goes out the window when we start a partnership, because it's all about how we as a football club deliver value for our partner. And we've really changed sort of the mindset over the last few years of, I think, sort of the sponsorship and partnership world in terms of how we can deliver real value, tangible value to our partners. There was a time once ago that if it wasn't in the contract, then we're not doing it. That's certainly not our approach now. And I think we're leading the way in not only football, but world sport and entertainment in terms of how we service our partners. And I think you see that in the success rate we have with partners renewing and extending, and then sort of the reputation that we get in the industry, which allows us to attract some sort of more premium blue chip global brands.
ちょっと数年前にあるスローガン、フレーズがクラブが打ち出して非常に話題になったんですが、This means more っていうキャンペーンがあったんですけれども、まさしくこのスポンサーとの取り組みは This means more だと思ったんですが、これについても教えてください。
Yeah, look, it's actually not something we particularly use too much now in this current day, but one of our sort of it's more around sort of inspired belief through our actions on and off the pitch. That's something sort of we sort of live and breathe by now daily at Liverpool Football Club. And of course, we have such strong values as a football club. I think probably the phrase, it's more than a phrase, sort of what we stand for is you never walk alone, right? That's the one that sort of probably guides us in terms of how we operate and act as a football club. This Means More was a campaign we did run a few years ago, and that really was trying to articulate what made us different to other football clubs, what made us special. Because we do believe generally that actually, our loyal fans are more loyal than other clubs. Our partners are more committed than other partners of other football clubs. Obviously, we've got the iconic Anfield Stadium. We've got other clubs have songs. We have You'll Never Walk Alone. We believe there's something special about this football club, and this was our way of trying to articulate what that actually is. But I think you sort of only have to speak to a Liverpool fan and speak to the football industry, and I think everyone will tell you that sort of Liverpool Football Club is a special club, and really that's driven through the sort of values that we have as a club, and sort of the way that we operate and what we stand for as a city, and the people of the city, and the culture of the city, and that sort of breathes through into the football club as well.
ラティさんのインタビューを読んでいて印象的だったのは、リバプールが責任があると、こういう大きなビッグクラブだからこそ、その世界に対しての責任があるっていうのを見て、それでレッドウェイっていう取り組みをされていて、非常どんなあれかというと、SDGs の活動にも貢献していこうっていうことをクラブで打ち出していて、そのレッドウェイっていうことに関しても面白いなと思ったんで教えてください。
Yeah, so look, the Red Way came about. Well, look, we've always been very conscious around sort of our sustainability actions, and we've always done operationally amazing things, and sort of the Red Way was like this moment in time where we just brought everything together across the club into sort of one umbrella sustainability campaign, which focuses on three areas: our people, our planet, and our communities. And that's just sort of a really clear way to sort of describe our focus areas. That's not to say there's areas that we don't focus on outside of that, but generally speaking, sort of people, planet, and communities is what we're focused on. And one of the things I'm particularly proud of is sort of the way that we've been recognised, and we are now renowned in not only football world but in the world of sport in terms for being the most sustainable football club in the world. And for us now, it's about how we sort of move that on to become the most sustainable sports entity in the world. And that's a journey we're on. It requires discipline internally, requires tough decisions sometimes. But it's something that we're committed to. It's something that we as a football club believe that we should be leading the way on, given our role in European football. And, it's something I think fans can relate to and be proud of. It's something our partners can relate to and be proud of. And, look, we're not doing it for vanity. We're doing it because we truly believe it's the right thing to do. And if the media want to talk about it, then great. But we will continue to publish our report, which lists the successes that we have achieved over that year. And, for us, this is just the start, really. We've got clear goals to achieve and to target, and we've got an army of people working behind the scenes to make sure we do.
で、こういうフィロソフィーが SDGs に貢献してるっていうことが、スポンサーを探す上でもメリットになったりもするんですか？
Yeah, look, we're not doing it for commercial reasons, right? We're doing it because we believe it's the right thing to do. But I think if a partner believes that they can come on board and support us in one of our goals, then why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we work with an organization that can bring expertise to help us achieve one of our goals faster than us doing it ourselves? And so, look, there's loads of examples of that. Like I said, it's people, planet, and community. So it's not purely on sort of reducing CO2 emissions. Of course, that's important for us. But, the community aspect's really important as well. And so we've got a number of partners. Kodansha do an amazing job, our partner, headquartered here in Japan, of supporting the local community in Liverpool, but also taking a lot of those programs internationally as well. Look, there's if there's partners out there that believe that they can benefit from partnering with us on an initiative, then we are always open to have that conversation. And we believe in sort of togetherness and collaboration for the greater good of what we're trying to achieve.
で、先ほど少し言ったその責任、社会への責任、レスポンシビリティって言葉がすごい印象的だったんですけども。
Look, again, it sort of stems from the roots of this football club, right? That I'm sort of proud and it's a pleasure to work for. This is a club that is rooted in history, culture, tradition. With that, we have a responsibility in terms of the way we act, the way that we carry ourselves. We've got a local community, obviously, in the Liverpool area to make sure that we are thinking about as well. We have an amazing foundation led by a gentleman called Matt Parrish, who's the CEO of the foundation, who deliver so many programs in the local area and support the local area. One thing we are looking at what we're doing is taking just some of that expertise that we deliver into the local area and helping and supporting internationally as well. See, the world's a big place, so sort of where do you start? But I actually probably think you see from these international pre-season tours that we do, for us to bring our foundation out here. Our international academy is here as well, based here in Japan, but to bring sort of some of the coaches to come and deliver programs here in Japan this week is amazing. I left the hotel just a minute ago and they're all getting ready. They've been pumping up the balls all late last night and they're going out into the local community to deliver grassroots programs for children. And that's something that we, again, as a football club, believe we should be doing. It's our responsibility to do that.
講談社ともそのリバプールファンデーションで何かやってましたっけ？
Yeah, and look, what we say to partners is it starts at Liverpool. Right, there's, what we would like and expect, and we discuss with our partners is we understand there's sort of appetite to go and activate internationally in key markets where they may be. But, we're a football club in Liverpool and the program needs to start in Liverpool. We make that a success and then we can take that success internationally around the world. And Kodansha is a great example of that. They've done the Creative Works program. They've funded that. It's in Liverpool. It's for people that maybe have not had the access to education in the local area that they should have and wanted to have. Kodansha have come and funded a number of cohorts of that program to develop creative skills. That's a hugely successful program. And now we've made that successful. It's how we take that internationally. So we've done something recently in New York. We're looking at how we can expand that around the world as well. So it's a really good example, actually, of a partner that's, that come on board. From the very first day that we met President Noma, it was clear that he understood sort of the values of the club. We understood his organisation as well. And, for us, we wanted to, and they wanted to give back to the local community as well. And it was done by this Creative Works program that is run by our foundation, but in collaboration with Kodansha as well.
で、今、サッカー界は、例えばオイルマネーだったり、 国家が結構投資するクラブも増えていて、そこでリバプールは賢くお金を使う、データを使って賢くお金を使って、結果を出してるんですけども、今後どんな展望を持っているか教えてください。
Yeah, look, for us as an organisation off the pitch, we're there to ensure that we operate as a sustainable football club. And with our partnerships business, data is hugely important to track the progress and the success of our partnerships and the campaigns we do with partners. Our marketing team use data analytics heavily. Obviously, we've got our social platforms as well, and we're constantly looking at which content works and why it works and what the dwell time on our app is and on our website, on our social channels. So, we're constantly looking at everything that we do, and every move we make as an organisation is the next move is based on the data we've had, right, in terms of how we believe we can improve. So we're sort of relentless in our pursuit for driving controllable revenue for the football club. The word controllable is really important. That's something that, the idea of this virtuous cycle, of course, is that as we bring in more revenue or as success happens on the pitch, both sort of rising tides lifts all boats. But if that doesn't happen for any season, then obviously for us, continue to drive the controllable revenue provides the funds needed for us to continue the success on the pitch. So yeah, look, this is something that I personally, and I'm sure the team, get up every day thinking about what more can we do? How can we evolve? How can we innovate? And we've got such a talented team behind the scenes to help us do that.
でも時間も限られてるので、最後に遠藤航選手について聞きたいんですけど、結構いろんな活動で遠藤選手の力を借りることもあるんですけど、どんな印象を持ってますか？
I mean, he's just a model professional, isn't he? He's I don't know him too well personally, but he's from what I hear, obviously a great player on the pitch, great person off the pitch as well. He's always open to us working with him commercially as well. Yeah, and you can ask for a better model professional than Motaro, and we're lucky to have him at our club.
で、今後また日本人選手が増えるとか、そういう情報入ってますか？
Fortunately, that's not in my remit. That's not something I control or make a decision over. So that's up to Richard Hughes and Arna and the football operations team to decide which signings they make and when.
で、今日は非常に面白いインタビューをありがとうございました。本当にリバプールの取り組みっていうのは日本のチームにもすごい参考になるなと思って、このスポンサーと一緒にただお金をもらうだけじゃなくて何か作っていく。で、さらに自前でユニフォームというかグッズを作ったりとか、で、この社会貢献の意識、自分たちが社会にとって責任があるんだっていう考えも非常に感銘を受けました。今日はインタビューをありがとうございました。Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.